I'm doing is just cruising around in about 40 feet of water. These are areas that I've fished before, and fish usually show up here this time of year. But I'm just kind of like circling around these little areas in this little cut in about 40 feet of water and bouncing this spoon around. And every once in a while I'll kind of run across the school just like that last one. But I'll show you what spoon I'm using here. This is a War Eagle spoon, and one of the reasons I like this War Eagle spoon, I think it's about 3/4. It's silver, and one of the main reasons I like using this spoon is because it's got a barrel swivel on the top of it. And whenever I drop this thing down, whenever it's falling and whenever I'm retrieving it, this thing spins a lot. And when it spins a lot, it flashes a lot. It gets a lot of attention. So a lot of times I can just drop this blind, and I drop it down in 40 feet of water and just keep raising it and lowering it, just like you saw me do there. And all of a sudden a bunch of fish will just show up, because I know what they're doing. They're seeing the flash from this thing, and they're wondering what that is, and they come over and they see it and they hit it. But another reason I like this, because these fish are down in like 40 feet of water, 3/4 ounce. It gets down there real quick, and when I graph them, I want to get this thing down as quick as I can. I like keeping it vertical too. You get this thing hung up in some wood. If you're vertical, you can usually just use the weight of the spoon to get it out and just kind of dislodge it. So whenever you drop down, another good idea is to keep this thing as vertical as possible. Drop it all the way down to the bottom. Do a little, little small jerks. But as you can see, I make these big old wide pulls on it and let it free fall. And usually they'll hit it on the free fall. So just a couple more tips about using the spoon this time of year. show you guys what I'm using to catch these fish today. I kind of upsized a little bit, but War Eagle's got a couple of different spoons that they make. This is kind of the larger one. I think it's maybe 3/4 ounces or something like that, close to 3/4. Also use a smaller 1/2 ounce in the same pattern, but that's what I'm using today, both the smaller one and the bigger one. And the bigger one seems to be catching a lot more fish than the smaller one, but I'm going to show you something else here. That's what these guys are feeding on. They were spitting up these little threadfin shad just like this. So that spoon is just about the right size for these shad. Let's see if we can't get some more. Cuts like these here in the creek, going back these little pockets like this. You can see it from the map here. We got a ditch. Deepest part of the ditch. I've got some places marked where I've been catching a few fish. There's been a few schools back here. So this is kind of perfect today because the wind's blowing right up into the pocket. So it should be blowing some bait up here. If you can find the bait in these pockets, there's going to be some fish nearby, and I just about bet you there's some bait. So if we find some fish, I'll turn the camera back on and we'll see if we can't get some.